Aquarius. This is your reading for the full moon in Virgo, happening 6th and 7th, which is just a day away, really, a couple of days away, of March. General feeling, if you haven't looked at the collective reading yet, and thanks for joining me. General feeling of a sort of sobering moment before Saturn enters Pisces time, which is literally, I think, really on that full moon. Sobering moment, rejigging maybe intentions, directives that we made maybe before or on that last new moon. We get a chance here to see things a little bit more clearly, a little bit more illumination, to just perfect and tweak a wee bit so that we know we are venturing as we move towards the end of the month in a manner that is conducive to our desired intentions, you could say. So that's been the general theme. So Aquarius, let's get the storyline out for you, see what's going on today for this full moon in Virgo time. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and yeah, check out any other titles that may well stand out for you. So let's just see, we've got there's a similar element to the Gemini reading with these cards that have come out here. If you check that reading out, excuse me, we come out with an experimental and youthful character here with Prince of Wands. Emphasis on experimental and risk-taking, and maybe thinking of doing things in a different way, actually. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Princess of Swords. We look at where we're exerting quite a lot of energy for no point in some ways. This really is a card here of saying, well, this princess is in this kind of defensive mode. What are you defending yourself against? She imagines something there behind those clouds that does not necessarily exist. But it's something in here. There's something in here that it's not so much about defending, it's about releasing. It's about shedding and releasing. We've got the Ten of Wands coming up, a burden that has been carried for quite a while needs to be released somehow. Maybe we utilize those experimental yearnings and passion of this Prince of Wands. Maybe we utilize those qualities within ourselves, Aquarius, to release that burden. Until we do, I think this little princess here, this defensive princess, is obscured by clouds. She imagines there is something behind it, some level of deception. Was that a deception of the past? That we're still operating with the same attitude or imaginings of it in the present time. We're still defending something that has passed, Aquarius. And then we get you, in some ways, coming up here with the Emperor. I mean, I can't help but think that very solid. You don't get to be an emperor without making some good benevolent decisions, whether that's in relation to yourself or the group of which you are very much part of. It very much makes sense to you, largely generalizing here, Aquarius. Your contribution to the group means a lot. So that's interesting. So we'll go through and clarify here with the Morgan Greer. We're looking at that Prince of Wands. As I say, young and experimental. Young and experimental. This is part of the Emperor's maturity, because we get bookended a little bit here. Clarifying that Prince of Wands, yes, it may well be aspects of yourself. As I say, it could be aspects of someone in your life. But I do see it as the Aquarian. We've got the Knight of Swords, clearing. It's as if you've already laid the groundwork here. You've already cleared. You're existing in two camps. You're existing in two camps. Is that mentally? I'm not sure what that means, but so the Knight comes in and clears the path. It's time for that. It's time for a clear path. Clear the detritus of this defensive princess that's had its day, is what I hear. Because we've got the Emperor here with that Knight of Swords again. Like anything, like any archetype, there are positive angles, aspects, and there are the less beneficial aspects, to put it in a nice way. And that goes along with any archetype here. There's something that just needs to be let go of, because it doesn't mean that you lose your throne, Aquarius. It doesn't mean you lose ground. You're not losing anything, actually. You are only gaining. Princess of Swords. Princess of Swords. You're only gaining. What comes next after that Princess of Swords? We let it go here. We have the Queen. There's an elevation here. We understand what that defense attachment is within ourselves. Aquarius, 10 of Wands, please. Because it's starting to become oppressive, or it has done, and you've been aware of it. Release. We've got the 9 of Swords. Catastrophic thinking and worry. We're stuck, and I don't mean that in saying stuck, but there's a position that has been taken for quite a while that needs to be released. That Queen of Swords cuts those ropes, releases it. We elevate here from a princess to a queen. The Queen knows the focus. There's only one sword, but there's a acumen in terms of clarity that has absolutely nothing to do with emotions. And there's something within this that is connected to this sort of end of the line 10 of Wands burden that just needs to be released. And this 9 of Swords, incessant worry, catastrophic thinking, doesn't do anything. Beautiful thing here is that we also have the 10 of Cups, an ultimate sort of card of ultimate emotional satisfaction here. So let us see where we have the Emperor beginning with and the Emperor at the end here. We've got quite a few. We've got quite a few, but I'm going to read them out, and then we'll get a Brian Froud and a animal card. So we come to the Emperor at the end. The Emperor at the end, the Emperor at the beginning. You're not relinquishing your position by allowing something to be released. We see this confirmed here with that one wand and the magician with all his bits and bobs on the table. We can translate whatever situation or scenario this has been or is, we can actually translate it for ourselves and do what is required for our highest good, actually. We see the Five of Cups, I see as an aspect of the past, experiencing disappointment and melancholy and all of that, but realizing that in order to move beyond this card, we recognize that we have two full cups behind us. They will sustain us. In doing that, we get given a key to the ability to shift perspectives at will, part of the Magician's toolkit. With the Hierophant, this is also about institutions, and you may well be working within a sort of institutional place, whatever happens to be. But yeah, a key specifically for your particular individual flavour of spiritual insight. And then we have the Hermit. It's sort of like a hole in one, isn't it? We've got the Hermit shining that light into shadows within. Just to. Maybe that's just the key to release, whatever has been a burden for you. Now, let's get a Brian Trout, Pixie and Fairy. For you, Aquarius, we'll just get a few here. A bit of noise going on here today, which is annoying me. Let us see. Excuse me. We've got Mike the Micromancer. There's a wonderful ability to see, to actually see incredible detail, combined with seeing the entire picture. And we're weighing it up. We're looking at the pluses, the minuses here. Let us see. We're weighing up a ledger of sorts, juggling. We've got a little bit of, we've got a lot of a strong sort of position on that throne with the Emperor here. If there's a question, for some Aquarians, if there's a question at this current time, there's a question mark. It's like question mark fog. That will dissipate. We are able, because Aquarians, you are very much within, group, but also very individual. So Mike the Micromancer is able to see the finer details of everything and the whole picture. So to see that all at the same time is quite a skill. We're also able to juggle that in the real world, undressing of a salad. We can pick it apart and take what we want and discard what we do not need anymore. We then have the Singer of Intuition. The lights are on. The feelers have been tuned to a pretty high frequency here, Aquarius. In some ways, it's sort of like the Aquarian, is very aware of, is very self-aware. Let's just put it that way at the moment. Beautiful. We're able to, as I said, there's something about seeing detail and seeing the whole all simultaneously, being very aware of group, but being very aware of oneself individually, simultaneously. We have the ability to move faster really than the eye can focus with the dragonfly here. This is a very air, I mean obviously it is air, airy card. We can do that in the air. We can also take time to show our light, our beautiful plumage. We can do a display. We can slow it down. We can speed it up. You are embodying the magician, the Magus in this entire process. And I would say for some people out there who have maybe an interest and a level of skill in certain magical processes or processes, is that which you are utilising those personal skills. Aquarius at this time. So that's all quite full on. So, anywho, enjoy the rest of the week, this beautiful full moon in Virgo coming up, where we get to tweak and play around with things a little bit in order to make sure that, yeah, we are heading in the right direction with the right tools at the right time. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, Aquarius, ka kite, take care, and we'll see you next time.